operations. So this is a kind of framework that I would like to work. This is if you look at this is the database. We want to look at the data. We want to see what has changed. So it's more like look at the observation, data analysis, and from there, we identify all those indicators, climate and human activities, and also the policy change and socioeconomic factors, and then they will tell us what changed. And now, once we know what changes, we want to ask the question, why those changes occur. And we can look at the different indicators, variables, to figure out why those changes occur. Now, once we understand the factors that cause those changes, we can develop a process-based or statistical models, and to quantify that process so that we can make projections for the future, right? Because when we manage something, our ecosystem is really important for us to know, answer what-if questions. What if you change this, what will happen? And so eventually we're going to have, we can make models and make projections in the future, and then help to inform a decision-making process. And of course, this is we're going to do this in a different scales in terms of different spatial and temporal scale. So that's a kind of a diagram, kind of a structure, the flow chart we try to follow in terms of answer scientific and man-made questions. So this is I think we have a talk about a calibration project, and what we want to do is we want to calibrate the data to make sure that we standardize any changes over time in sampling protocols, in spatial temporal coverage, so that we want to make sure that all the data that we have after calibrations are compatible over time and over space. So that's I'm not going to go details, but this is, if you can look at the change, very obvious. This if you look at this one, those are targeted species. Start from striped bass, and the target species keep increasing. And of course, when you increase the target species, your protocol will change too, right? So that causes all those changes. And we have this data calibrated, and we have a paper published, and we have calibrated data and historical data lined up, so we can, if you request it, we can send it over to you. And we also have a metadata, metadata developed for river-wide programs, and Stephanie is going to talk more. But I just let you know that all those information actually is online, and you can read it. You can go online, visit the website, and take a look at it. I'm sure Stephanie is going to provide more details about it. And we have some, not just last 2.5 years, and we have a few publications out. One look at overall, how this monitoring program can be used to monitor the changes in fish community in Hudson River estuaries, and look at some climate impact on the spawning strategy, phenology of the striped bass in the system. And also look at calibration, and also look at some climate-induced distribution change in the American shad. So those are 4 papers, and we have a few more on the review and on the revisions. And again, use that very valuable historical data set. So you see that whether they can all kind of scientific and man questions that data set can address. And we are just got a New York Sea grant funding to develop what we call an end-to-end model, and try to link Hudson River estuaries with New York Bight, and because there are connections in terms of the fish movement, and we want to develop those ecosystem models to quantify those ecosystem dynamics, and also try to answer the questions if something happened or climate change, and some valuable changes in the Hudson rivers or in the New York Bight, and how that may affect fish communities. So that's very complicated models, and go all the way from nutrients all the way up to the fisheries management. Those are what we call end-to-end models. And so this is a project just started actually February 1st, funded by New York Sea Grant. And so, Greg gave a really nice picture about the future, but I think that we have to learn lessons from history in order to make sure that we plan the future better. So that's some thoughts, about it, this the lesson, at least from my perspective, that lesson learned, And I think a lot of time when we develop a monitoring program, we tend to put all the resources into actually implementing this survey. And once we have all the data, we said, okay, just put it wherever we want, and good luck to use it. And wish you, like everybody, would be interested in those data sets. But unfortunately, a lot of the work actually really based on fundings. Like at a university, I don't know you guys, but if you're working for federal government or state government, probably you're lucky, you don't have to worry about the fundings. But we have to put together all the proposals that get fundings, to do research. So if you don't have those money, and really, the chance that people will use that data set is really small. So I think it's really important when you set up a monitoring program, you also have to set up some resources, financial resource, to make sure that people actually use it. And of course, a lot of the survey programs are very complicated, and we want to make sure that we design a way that that people can use those data easily and not misuse them. So that's really important. I think that resources to achieve the goals, not just to collect the data. And I think it's also really important to develop metadata for any monitoring program, because over time, especially a long-term one, you're going to lose the institutional memories. People retire, people gone, change it, technicians, and without that, it's really hard to keep checking. What changes. And like we did, we have to call people around, and we have to interview a lot of people. And I'm sure those people will be surprised. They say, "Hey, I did that 40 years ago. Why you call me right now?" But again, that's a really important process. And I think that any change in sampling protocol and survey design, and in terms of their impact on the data quality, should be carefully evaluated to make sure that we don't misuse data, and to make sure that we reduce uncertainties associated with the utility of those information. And the new Hudson River Biological Monitoring Program should consider, I think, at least a link to the historical one. Because if you start a new one, and it has a different name, of course, one is biological, one is ecological, but it's really important to have connections. Otherwise, just start a new time series. A new time series, if you work in ecology, fisheries, we know that a short time series data are really not very useful, right? You have to wait until at least 10 years. By training, I'm a stocks estimate scientist. I need a long-term data to work on it. And so you would be very unfortunate that we don't have that connections. And then data sharing, I think, again, it's very important. So, and then sample-wise, I think it's unfortunately, it's a so big one, and I'm not expert in this area. So I really encourage you guys, if you're interested in samples, historical samples, we have about, I think over 150 species. So if you guys, are interested in anything, let us know, and we would more than happy to work with you guys. Okay. Finally, I want to thank a lot of people in the last 2.5 years. Get a lot of help from agencies, from universities, from NGOs. We're working very closely with everybody. So hopefully, we have